Hey, boat friends, how are you? Sunday night, 8:10 p.m. Central Time. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I sure have. Figured I'd come out here. We're going to go down by the lift bridge, walk around a little bit. There's always some boats going through. I don't know if there's going to be any big ships, but probably some sailboats, the Vista Fleet. We're going to go check out the lift bridge, take a look at the sunset. But I'm going to be going back to the Twin Cities here in a few minutes, so I figured I'd do a live stream, give you something to look at on a Sunday night. Ralphie, how are you? Minnesota Mike, Matt, Pam, how are you? Corey, all the boat friends. We're going to go and check out the lift bridge here. Right now I'm on Moore Street and Canal Park Drive. Canal Park Drive runs this way. And we have grandmas over here. Now, again, just to clarify, if you recall yesterday's live stream, I've mentioned grandmas a few times, and people took me literally that I was talking about my grandma is over in this area. So that is an actual restaurant here in Duluth, Minnesota called Grandma's. You have Lake Avenue right over there at the end of the street. And that brings you right up to the aerial lift bridge right there. 63 degrees, very light wind. I believe it was 7 miles per hour out of the east. Well, I hope everybody's doing good. Looks like people from all over the country. So this is something we do every time we come in the room. Already got 66 people in there. Let's just throw in there city and state. Where is everybody at? You know I'm here in Duluth, Minnesota. Take a look at the horses over here. I've showed that a couple times. How about city, state, and temperature? So we have a few things to talk about. That's actually pretty good for the horse tonight. The weather, 63 degrees, not too bad. Oh yeah, Ralphie, I know he's in St. Pothole, aka St. Paul, Minnesota. Here's Grandma's. Here's a good shot. You got the aerial lift bridge, and you have Grandma's, the restaurant. Remember, I told you that you can go up. They have a patio up on the top. It's an awesome spot. Sitting up there having a drink, something to eat. You're able to watch those ships. Give you a quick shot. Sunset right here. Sun is just on the edge going down. A little bit of overcast here in Duluth. Lots of people were here in Duluth this weekend. It was pretty packed. Again, Minnesota, the kids go back to school right after Labor Day, so you still have a couple more weeks left of people that didn't do that vacation with the kids or just in general. And this is that last hoorah until they're back at it. Hey, Karen, how are you? I know Chuck, he was going to jump on. Bill, how are you? There's Chuck. St. Clair Shore, 63 degrees. Brent, how are you? You know, it was really cool today. I was checking some comments. I had some things going on. I had some family up here in Duluth, and so we were doing some things, but I did check some comments. And what was interesting is on the Munson video that I did a few days ago, there's a comment from one of the crew members on the Munson, and we had a back and forth dialogue, so you might want to go check that out. So I thought that was really cool to have a crew member want to interact on the channel. I'm going to show you a couple thousand footers that are out here right now at anchor, including the Paul Arts Agertha, the Stuart J. Court, and the Walter J. McCarthy. Also, the Algoma Discovery's out there right now. I got plenty of videos coming for you over the next few weeks. I was out there having a good time on the boat. Did some 360 tours. One of the Stewart Court, and I also did the Spruce Glen that was at anchor over in Superior. So I'll be taking care of those edits and getting them out to you shortly. Well, here you go. Star of the show. Really needs no introduction. Duluth Aerial Lift Bridge. 96 degrees in California there from Barbara. We got, looks like someone is controlling a drone right above us. Take a quick peek. You can see it right there in the center portion of the screen. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. But very calm out here. Not a lot of tourists, not a lot of people in general. This is when I like to get out here for you to check things out. You still have enough light to see what's going on. I got some elbow room to share with you out here. There's that flag. You can get a good idea of what's going on with the wind. Well, I noticed that looks like that snack stand is open over there. Most of the time I go by, it's closed, but interesting. Well, hey, I hope everybody has had a wonderful weekend. Sunday night, and like I said before I take off, wanted to show you what's going on. Let me give you a shot what's going on out here with those vessels. First one over here that you're going to see, that's a 1,000-footer. Center portion screen, that is the Walter J. McCarthy. That's sitting at anchor. Then you have the Polar Tagurtha right there. Stuart J. Court. That's the only 1,000-footer with the forward pilot house. And you can't really see, maybe you can. It looks like there's a single vessel, but there's actually another one tucked back on the right side, the stern side. That is the Algoma Discovery that's sitting there right now at anchor. Beautiful, beautiful night. Hey, Pam, how are you? You know, anybody that's in Minnesota, we have the state fair going. There's the moon out there as well along the canal. I mean, everything that I can point out is just that much better when we're right next to the lift bridge and this canal. I mean, my goodness, I could zoom in on a tree and it'll look good, don't you think? Let's give it a shot. See? The tree even looks good. Well, again, you can see that sunset with the overcast sky in the background. Well, what I got going on this week, I have quite a few things to do with projects and different things, so I'm going to be pretty busy. So I feel energized. I feel ready to go back, hit the ground running tomorrow. Hopefully you do as well. And that's what these weekends are all about. Relaxing, getting mentally prepared for the week. And those ships, they really help me do that. And I believe it's the same for you. It's a hobby. We have fun checking them out. Robin's saying, yep, 4 ships at anchor. Yeah, there's a couple of them that have been waiting. The Polar Tagurtha, I think that is waiting, if I'm correct, for the American Century to depart Smet Dock to load coal. So I've been keeping my eye on that. Walter J. McCarthy, I'll have to figure that one out, but I know the court is waiting to go into Superior. Let's walk down along the wall together, check some things out. So if you can, hit that like button. I know that's what the YouTubers say, right? I guess I got to get in the vernacular and say the same thing, but that actually does help the algorithm. So if you hit like, it'll pull in other people that are interested in the boats that'll find this channel as I'm live right now. So if you hit a like, really appreciate that, and we'll get some more boat friends in here. Here's the drone operator right here. See that drone flying? It's going over the canal. Well, take a look out here. Beautiful. I'm going to give you the channel markers. You can see the red and the green. Just beautiful conditions. Let's take a look at the current in the canal. I always point that out. You look up at the top portion of the bridge. If you're down here, look at that light right there. It's either going to be red, green, or yellow. The green, that signifies an outbound current. Red, inbound. And the yellow that we see right now, that just means there's a neutral current, so nothing for a captain to worry about. Hey, Bobs, how are you? Hey, has everybody got their trip in over the summer? Hit a 1 if you got your trip in. If you got that vacation in over the summer. Hit a 2 if you are still going to do that. You know, in the next couple weeks, maybe the next month. Hit a 1. Did you get that good vacation in over the summer? 2, you're about to do it, or you're going to do it here in the future. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of a mixed bag. Let me zoom in and show you the lift bridge operator operation center. Yeah, Karen said 1.5. That's a good one. So what you're looking at right there in the center portion of the screen, that little house, that's a lift bridge operation center. So you have a lift bridge operator that's in there that controls the bridge. And when we do have vessel traffic, they'll communicate with the lift bridge operator, and the bridge will raise up. If it's a large ship, 135 feet. Smaller vessels, it'll only go up maybe a quarter of the way, half a way uh, up. So all depends on the vessel that's going through. But this is what I really like, having the pier pretty much for us to go down. Not a lot going on. It is fun though, people watching. I have some of the videos that come out there where I say, hey, it's people watching to the max. Bridge, the ships, those are awesome, but it's kind of fun watching what people are up to. It's a term for a reason. We like that. Well, here's what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to walk to the very end of this pier. I'm going to walk up the lighthouse with you, and then I'm going to turn around and we're going to observe the lift bridge from there. We're going to look at the Duluth skyline from there. So we're going to walk all the way down here. This is the North Pier. I don't think there's been a video that I've done with these ships where I'm really at the very end of the North Pier. I always go to the South Pier, which is on the right side of the screen there across the canal. So let's go walk down together, walk down and check things out. And it's going to be an awesome view. You're going to see all of the lights in the city. Get to see the very end of the sunset. And the bridge is going to look really awesome from that perspective. Retired people never get a vacation. Someone told me once, when you do retire, every night is a Friday night and every day is a Saturday. So that's a good way to put it. Nothing wrong with that, right? And what's funny is that I know a few people that are retired, and I'm sure that all of you have experienced this too. And though some people have been retired for a while, they'll say to you, "What day is it? Wait, is it Tuesday?" No, it's Friday. They're not even a day away. They're 2 days off, 3 days off. That's always funny, but good for them. Is part of the lights here in the city, but it's going to look cool when we get all the way down to the end of the pier, and I think we're going to be able to see those ships better. So here's what it's looking like so far, maybe a quarter of the way down the pier. Beautiful backdrop with that sky. 142 people in here on the live stream. Thanks for joining Duluth, Minnesota. We're going to walk down to the end of the pier. We're going to check out the city and some of these 1,000-footers. Some of those new people that join, hit that like button. All the YouTubers say the same thing. Hit that like. And there's a reason for that, because it'll pull in some of these boat friends through the algorithm with YouTube. So hit that like for me. We'll get some more people in here and have some fun and chat. So again, hopefully everybody got some rest. Now let's ask this. Hit a 1 if you got some rest this weekend. Hit a 2 if you were out having some fun. And hit a 3 if you did a combination of both. 1, just rest. 2, really making the weekend count. 3, kind of went out and rested. Yeah, I think I'm in the 3. I always try to make sure that a Sunday is where I'm able to rest and relax and be mentally prepared for a Monday. And I'm going to tell you this: there's nothing wrong with 2, because if you're out there making the weekend count, that means that you put in the work during the week to get there, right? So, boat friends, what we're doing right now, give you a shot of some of these ships as I'm walking out. This is the North Pier Lighthouse. Believe it or not, the waves make it over the top of that. You can't even make it up. But those storms here on Lake Superior can be pretty tremendous. Well, we're going to walk up there. I'm going to first give you a shot of a few of these vessels that you can see a little better now. Let me give you a sneak peek real quick of the Duluth skyline here with the lights. Love the communication towers. Oh yeah, the PRT is out there. Quentin, I'll show you. So let's look at it together. Left side of your screen, Walter J. McCarthy Jr., 1,000 feet. Center portion of your screen, Polar Tregurtha, 1,013 feet. On the right side there, that is the Stuart J. Court. And behind that, which you can't really see, it's more on the right side of that, that is Algoma Discovery. But it's always fun seeing those lights out there on the water. And actually, we will see the area lift bridge go up here in a few moments. Maybe I'll just hang in there until that comes in. What I see right now is you can see that sailboat, you can see the mast, you can see the vessel itself with some of the lights. So I think we should see the lift bridge going up here in a few minutes. So let's hang with it until then. The area lift bridge. And I love being out here. Not a lot of people. Perfect condition. I have a stocking cap on, a hoodie. I mean, I guess I really don't need the stocking cap, but it's just nice to just stay a little warmer because you just never know. I've been fooled a few times where I come down here and the breeze off the lake really makes it cooler. So here you go, friends. Here's that communication, those communication towers on the hill. I told you one day I was down here. Oh, actually, it was yesterday or the day before, I forgot, but I was waiting for a ship and I was trying to count how many of those towers were there, and I counted 21. So that includes the tall ones. There were short ones that might not be illuminated, but 21 total. So as I mentioned before, that's your, when you're on Jeopardy and they ask you how many communication towers are on the top of the hill, there you go. Remember your buddy Mike. I pointed that out a few times. You have the Essentia Health building right here. That's the large one right there in the center portion of the screen. They just finished construction on that here, I think, within the last year or so. And that's the main healthcare organization here in Duluth, aka the Northland. You can see calm water here on Lake Superior. Now let's walk up. Oh yeah, Fitker's Bill is pointing that out. That's definitely a top ranking place to be when you're in Duluth. Well, here you go, friends. Now we're on the top, right here on the lighthouse. First time I think I've done a live stream from the North Pier Lighthouse. Let me give you a nice slow pan so you can see what's going on. Again, in the low 60s, light wind, little breeze, ideal conditions. And I've told you this before, if there's no snow, we're good to go. No problem. Oh, cool. So we're at 92 likes. So there's just under a couple hundred people that are in here right now on the live stream. Really appreciate that. Some of the people that haven't hit the like button, hit that. Get some more in here and talk about the ships. So Daniel Roberts just said, hey, I see you from the canal cam. Yep, that's one thing. When I'm on the North Pier, you'll definitely be able to see that. But take a look at this view. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, Robin is saying, yeah, check it out. You can really see everything. And there is something, too, about that hillside that it just adds to the ambiance. It's awesome. And even the blinking red towers, look, I've seen it so many times. I'm still fascinated every time I look over. Hey, Mason just said that just subscribe. Thank you so much. Look forward to chatting with you more. We'll be out here with the ships together, talking, checking things out. And one thing that I want to pass along, look, I've said it a million times. This channel isn't about me. It's about the ships. I just happen to be a person with the camera that can hit record. The ships really are the star of the show, as you know. I'm going down here because I know that this sailboat is going to be coming in, and I want you to check out the bridge. But again, you know, these ships, that's what it's all about. So I love coming down here. I love telling the story of what's going on with Duluth and these ships. So here's that sailboat. So let's check it out together. Won't that be fun to be out there right now? Check that out. And forgive me, I'll get into the comments in a second. You know, a lot of times, you know, there's some people when they live stream. I've watched a lot of live streamers. You know, they're really active with the comments. They're able to see it, but I'm really focused on what can I see for you right now. You know, I look around from left to right, trying to think about what would be good here in the camera for you. So forgive me if I'm not, you know, Johnny on the spot with those comments. I do look down periodically, so I'm not avoiding anybody. Just out here trying to give you the best coverage live as I'm out here. Another thing that's going on here in Minnesota is the Minnesota State Fair. So that's a big deal to us. I mean, there's all these surveys that say we're ranked, you know, as a number 1, number 2, number 3 state fair. Look, you got to give us something to hold on to here in Minnesota. We have the Mall of America, and we have, I guess, the Minnesota Vikings, which we still haven't won a Super Bowl. That's a whole nother story. But I guess our state fair, you know, we're trying to get some things pulled over to the Minnesota side that that give us some respect. It's awesome. It's a great fair. Tons of food, as you can imagine. But that just started here earlier last week, actually, on Thursday. Check this out, though. There you go. You have the bridge. Let me try to isolate that sailboat for you. Get the very end of that sunset that sailboat is going through. And you know, let me say this. I say it at the end of my videos because I really sincerely feel that way. Thank you, seriously, for watching the videos, and for us in particular, chatting and having fun in the comment section. You know how much I've learned listening to all of you and people weighing in on certain situations. I've learned so much, and I think that goes for everybody that's reading those comments and participating. And it's, look, when I post these videos, I'm very excited to read the comments and to interact. It's very fun. And obviously, when I'm busy, you know, I have my career comes first, number one, with family. But you know, when I do have time, obviously I'm checking those comments, trying to participate and have some fun. But it's a learning experience. That's what a hobby is, right? You're having fun, you're learning. And what's cool about this hobby is it's very interactive. We're able to communicate, learn, and that's the beauty of it. But again, just wanted to come down here for a few minutes, do a live stream, give you something to look at just before you tuck in and relax and get ready for Monday. Well, I think on that note, I'm going to probably cut it right here. Just wanted to come out, give you something to look at. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know that. I'll be out here with the next vessel. And remember, I got a lot of videos to check out. So if you're interested in still checking some videos out with the ships, go ahead and do that. But until the next time, my friends, I will be out here, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great night and a wonderful Monday. Take care.